Browns taking on the New York Jets. Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
Take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
In motion left, Bateman. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
On gain of 12. First down, Ravens.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Again, it's Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
At the 30-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup.
In motion left, Bateman. On second down, it's Edwards. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Third down, Jackson rolling to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Jets will take over. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was out there waving his arm saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. Shoves him aside. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Rodgers. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
At their own 8-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On the handoff, Edwards. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Jackson now. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Will go down as a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try and run for the... And it's out. He put it on the carpet. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the 1st down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the 1st down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was...
And Cook will get in. He's got a Jets touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Never come back until midnight.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now a handoff. Edwards. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run once more with Edwards. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Now it's Jackson. But the Jets pressure 2 notches, down he goes. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Here's Jordan Stout now. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
Right back to Cook for another completion. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Throwing is Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here, don't end up in the end zone, ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that occasion, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover it yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football if indeed that's the plan of attack.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker to kick off
Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly. And so many times we look at the opening drive in the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he'll have it by plenty, as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
But what they're seeking with an RPO is space for the receiver to make a catch and then make a play downfield, but there wasn't any space available, thus the incompletion.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. Touchdown! Tyler Conklin, 27 yards. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Now Zuerlein on and the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. But, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's Rodgers to throw. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Cook is into the end zone for a Jets touchdown. Zuerlein now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0.
Next to score, Jets 21, Ravens nothing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an... There he goes, left side! Now he's loose at the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. This is Edwards. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
2nd and 5. Play action. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. A swing pass here to Edwards. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And now they're in the hurry up.
Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 12-yard
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Quincy Williams on the tackle. 1st and goal at the 5.
They'll run here with Edwards. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on
2nd down, here's Jackson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play.
Ravens nothing.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Edwards. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. Fighting through at the 25. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away. The guy's man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Dalvin Cook, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he returns this to the 22.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Left side, Cook. And able to work his way down to the 16.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good gain there on first down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Rodgers going to throw. Touchdown, Jets! Mecole Hardman, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jets have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. Now Zuerlein on and the extra point. He gets it to go, and the lead swells, 35-6.
Jets 35, Ravens 6.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull